Hi, my name is Andrea and the title of my story is If I Were Any Better, I'd Be Twins. Jerry was a restaurant manager. It was after hours at his restaurant, and he was walking through the store, about to take out some trash outside into the alleyway across from the store. Jerry was walking through the store, nervous, because he didn't know if he would make it home in time. He was trying quickly to clean up things throughout the store. As Jerry was walking throughout the store, he heard noises. A shuffling of feet. It couldn't have been. There was no employees in the store with him. A shuffling of objects, maybe from the wind or from other things. He didn't pay too much mind to it. As he was walking, he heard the noises again. This time he started to think. What could it be? He didn't know. He kept walking. As he was walking, he felt the presence behind him. Something didn't feel right. Jerry's mind began to scatter, and his heart began to race. As he turned around quickly, 4 hands touched him. He plunged to the ground, to the cold cement in the alleyway, tripped over steps, and hit the ground head first. There was 2 men, 2 robbers. They were dressed in black. They were strong men. They were aggravated with each other. Maybe they did a sloppy job with this. Jerry was trying to keep calm. The 2 men were fidgeting with each other and were yelling. They were aggressively handling Jerry. Jerry knew that he was weaker than the 2 men, that he couldn't get away from them. As he was thinking this through, maybe a way to get out, or why this happened. Why could this happen? Why did it happen? Why do such bad things happen to such good people? Well, as he was thinking this, he felt something cold touch his face. He knew what it was. It searched his face and ended at his temple. As he felt it touch his temple, he was wondering what was going to be the next move of the robbers. He felt it touch his forehead. His last thoughts were, why was this happening to me? He was shot in the head seconds later. Jerry's mind fogged. Everything went black. The robbers quickly scattered, taking anything they could off of Jerry and anything from the store. A man that had walked by and heard the gunshot ran over to Jerry. He was an older man, but still strong enough to carry Jerry. As he was carrying Jerry, he quickly walked towards the end of the street and called an emergency vehicle from the hospital. An emergency truck came as fast as they could from the nearest hospital. Jerry was rushed to that hospital as soon as possible. As he entered the hospital, nurses assisted him. They revived him quickly. They were trying to do the procedure and the surgery as fast as they could, but the nurses proceeded to ask him if he was allergic to anything. Jerry, with humor in his voice, told them that he was allergic to bullets. The nurses chuckled, but being professional, they put their thoughts aside and went through with the surgery. Jerry kept a positive attitude, and throughout the surgery, before and after, he stayed positive. The nurses congratulated him. He was saved. Jerry was in a good place now. And a few weeks later, he went back to work. Everything normal. All the employees from near and far, from different restaurants and from his, gathered to see him from day to day and congratulated him. He was saved from an attempted murder. They were proud of him. They were inspired and influenced by his positive attitude throughout the whole entire thing. That they had doubt in themselves, that they couldn't be as strong as him. Many people knew that. Everyone knew that Jerry was a positive person, and everyone fed off his positivity. This one woman in particular, an older woman, she didn't come from a very good background, but she was one of Jerry's employees, had noticed his attitude from months prior. She respected his attitude, and worked up the nerve to go up to Jerry and ask him how he did such a thing, how he pulled through with such strength. She was very influenced by this and very inspired, but she hesitated, and she asked Jerry, how can you have such a positive attitude when you just went through an attempted murder? How could you have such happy moods during such difficult times? She protested that it wasn't easy, but Jerry said otherwise. The one woman thought to herself and said, if you carry out each day, living life to the fullest, it'll pay off in the end. Just like Jerry. She left that day from talking to Jerry. It changed her life. She was bound to make changes in her life. And Jerry affected more people than just this one woman. Throughout the attempted murder, Jerry stayed true to his true personality. He stayed positive. And throughout any situation, you can do the same. Jerry told that woman that day that he wakes up every morning and faces himself in the mirror to say that you have to live life to the fullest. Today I have two choices: to live life positively and to live it negatively. And today and every other day, I choose to be a positive person. It's as easy as that. And that's what he told that woman that day. And as his head was pressed up against the sidewalk by the two men that shot him in the head that day, he thought to himself, I have a choice to live and I have a choice to die. And today, I choose to live. And that's what saved Jerry. Him and his positive attitude. No one could wreck it. No one could tear it down. He was the person that everyone loved to hate. But in the end, he'll come out on top, just like you will, if you have the same attitude about everything else. So he advises you and everyone else to live life positively, live life to the fullest, and you will ultimately shape your future in days to come. Thank you.